If you're making any of the following 5 mistakes in your business or your marketing that I'm about to cover, then you're losing money. There's just no other way to say it. At best, your marketing campaigns aren't performing nearly as well or being nearly as profitable as they could be with just a few simple tweaks. A few simple tweaks that I'm going to be sharing with you right here, right now. Because knowing that you're making a few fatal marketing mistakes is one thing, but being given the exact step-by-step solutions to transform your entire business is a whole new level of value and importance. And never has there been a more important time to get this right. With marketing costs rising, competition at an all-time high, and an almost overwhelming supply of new marketing tactics and tools and strategies to choose from, it's understandable that there's so much frustration and overwhelm and complaining going on out there. Even your man's been tempted to hop on TikTok to try to replicate the latest dance moves. But I think I'll just stick to marketing for now. The point is, it ain't easy out there, and if you're making any of these mistakes, you're only making it harder on yourself. So let's fix that now, starting with mistake number 1, a failing funnel. Also, a big thank you to Ahrefs for sponsoring this video, but more on that later. I feel like I talk a lot about sales and marketing funnels these days, but with everything getting more expensive and more competitive out there, the way that you win is by being strategic and by getting more juice out of every squeeze. And that's what a well-designed marketing funnel is all about. A marketing funnel, also known as a sales funnel or just a funnel or a funny fun funnel. Actually, nobody's ever said that last one. Well, all a funnel really is just a way to sort of visually map out the customer journey that someone has to go through, from first learning about you and your business all the way through to ending up as a customer at the end, and essentially every step in between that got them to where they are. Now, the worst offense here is not having a marketing funnel, or more accurately, not thinking about your marketing funnel, and instead just hoping and wishing and praying that maybe, magically and mysteriously, customers will just find their way to your doorstep and buy from you. But that's not marketing, that's wizardry. And it requires a whole nother skill set that I'm neither qualified nor interested in talking about. Creepy wizards. That said, as obvious as this is going to sound, the solution to not having a funnel is to have a funnel. Yes, that was insightful. I know. Now, the easiest way to map out your funnel is really just to start at the end and think about what happens when a customer buys from you and then reverse engineer the process, essentially breaking down every single preceding step that somebody had to go through in order to end up at that end state of becoming a customer. Now, I talk about this more in the Digital Marketing Academy, so if you'd like more information, I'll make sure to link that up in the descriptions below. Next up, it's time for mistake number 2, missing metrics. You see, one of the biggest reasons that digital marketing doesn't work is because it wasn't designed to. For example, when most people think about marketing, they think about creating content for Instagram, or writing a blog post, or maybe starting a podcast or a YouTube channel. So they make some stuff, and they put it out there, and then they wonder why their business isn't growing. Well, my friend, I'll tell you. It's because a social media post, a blog, a podcast, or even a YouTube channel, the holy grail of content marketing, even that doesn't grow businesses, at least not alone. This is because those are all just tools and tactics and things that you can do in service of the greater good. The greater good being making sales and generating customers and increasing revenue. The problem, though, is that just doing things for the sake of doing them without any clear idea of how or when or even if they're going to lead to revenue is just craziness. You see, you need to know your numbers, your metrics, your analytics. You need to know what tactics are delivering results and which ones aren't. And you need to know where your calls and your clicks and your traffic is coming from. So just like the last mistake, where the solution to not having a funnel was to have a funnel, well, this solution isn't that original either. And that is, the solution to not knowing your numbers is to know your numbers. But you may be wondering, what are these numbers you speak of? And where do you find these elusive keys to profitability? Be it in the wild and unforgiving jungles, or the deepest, darkest depths of the sea, or the most barren and isolated. No, it's just like right here on the screen. Now, personally, when it comes to knowing your numbers and getting accurate metrics, I use a software called Fathom, which is like a better and easier to understand Google Analytics. So I'll put a link to Fathom in the descriptions below this video too. The big thing though is that you need to know what you're doing that's actually working, where you're getting the most traffic, and just like your funnel, where there may be areas to streamline and optimize it a little bit. Which leads me perfectly to this video's sponsor, Ahrefs. Ahrefs is an all-in-one SEO toolset designed for everyone from junior marketers all the way up to SEO experts. I've used Ahrefs as a core part of my SEO strategy for almost a decade now, and I can't imagine my business without it. This is because Ahrefs gives you everything you need to rank higher, from comprehensive website audits that allow you to check your website for over 100 predefined SEO issues, gives you the ability to analyze your competitors' websites with Site Explorer, the ability to find exactly what keywords your customers are searching for with the Keyword Explorer, and a ton of other incredibly useful features. Not only that, but when you click the link in the description below, you can sign up today for Ahrefs Webmaster Tools for absolutely free. So make sure to do that right after this video. And now it's time for mistake number 3, perhaps the biggest and most dangerous of all the mistakes. Certainly the one that I see the most often, and also one of the simplest to fix, and that is marketing avoidance. When it comes to business, marketing is the single most important element to your business success. After all, it's marketing's job to help you spread the word and get more customers and make more sales, and really just to help make sure that you have a business there at all. Now, I'd like to imagine that because you're here with me now, you already understand the importance of marketing. But marketing avoidance is an easy trap to fall into, and it can be fatal to your business and its overall growth, so we gotta talk about it. See, marketing is kind of one of those things that's like going to the dentist. No offense to my dentist, but you scare me. See, it's one of those things that you can just keep putting off while things are good until one day all your teeth fall out of your mouth. Yep, basically the same as marketing. This is because when things are good, there's this voice that creeps in and says, hey, things are good. Maybe you can slow down a little. Chillax, ease off the marketing a little bit. But the thing with marketing is that there's a lag time, meaning there's a delay between the actions that you do today and the results that you're going to get back in the future. It's kind of like going to the gym and eating healthy. I mean, nobody expects to just go work out one time or eat a single apple and then mysteriously and magically get into amazing shape. I don't think it's working. Maybe it's because it's not an apple. This is why the best time to be doing marketing is when you don't need it at all. This is because if you wait to start marketing until things are a little bit slow and you really need it, well, it may be too late, and you're going to need to work twice as hard to get half as much results. Half as many results? Half as many results. So the solution to this is to start marketing now. And if you're already doing marketing and getting excellent results, then double down. Now's your opportunity to capture even more market share from those who are just putting it off until later. And on that note, mistake number 4. Casual content. If you're not in a committed, long-term relationship with content marketing, now is the time. See, content marketing is one of the most effective forms of marketing there is, and lucky for us, content marketing is also one of the most simple concepts to grasp in this crazy digital marketing world we live in. You see, content marketing is just making stuff for people and putting it out there. In other words, it's making content for your market. But there is a difference between good content and bad content. Good content is content that your market likes, finds valuable, and wants more of. It has nothing to do with production value or how pretty and shiny and fancy it looks, or how much time or money or energy you put into it. Bad content, on the other hand, is content that your market doesn't enjoy, doesn't find valuable, and doesn't want more of. And the only way to see what your market views as good content or bad content is to make content and put it out there. See what works and what doesn't. Just to really drive this point home though, let's make a chart. On the left-hand side, we've got good content. This will be content that your audience finds entertaining or educational or enjoyable. On the right-hand side, we'll put bad content. This will be content that's boring or irrelevant or overly promotional, which really just means that you're just trying to sell people stuff and not giving them any real value. Now, the good news about making content is that you can pretty much safely ignore all of the opinions of your friends and your family and your coworkers. The reality is, unless they're paying you for the products or services that you provide, they don't get a vote. Now, I've got a ton of videos on how to do content marketing right here on this YouTube channel, so I won't beat this point up too much. I'll also put a link to a content marketing training called Content Marketing Champion in the descriptions below if you'd like some more information. Okay, so if this mistake is about not taking your content seriously enough, then the next mistake is all about quantity. How much and how often you need to be posting content. I want to show you a graph that I call the marketing sweet spot. It's a little bit more of an advanced topic, but by learning it now, it'll pay off for years to come. Here's the deal. When it comes to marketing, or anything really, you can either do a little or a lot. Most people start over here on the far left-hand side and do as little as possible. In marketing, this means maybe making the odd social media post, or sending an email or two, or maybe throwing a few dollars at ads every once in a while, but that's about it. The problem with this approach, though, is that it fails to hit enough people, enough times, in order to get them to take action. In other words, it falls below the minimum effective dose, which can be described as the smallest amount of an input required to achieve a desired outcome. Most businesses fall here, doing marketing half-heartedly and not getting any results. The smart ones, though, push through. They find the things that work and they end up right in the middle. in the sweet spot, doing enough marketing, reaching new people, making more sales, and growing their businesses. Here's the thing about the sweet spot though. It's huge, like massive. And it's made up of the entire market size, which means it's unlikely that you're ever going to max this out, saturate it completely, and ever reach that point of diminishing returns, where the more that you do, the less results that you get. For example, if you're in the health and fitness industry, and let's say that you're doing $1 million a year, 10 million a year, no, 100 million a year, and you think that you've completely maxed out. Well, even a couple years ago, the size of the health and fitness industry in the US alone was $32 billion. But what if you're into a small market, a tiny niche, something that maybe not a whole lot of people are into? Something like, I don't know, say knitting. Surely your business would max out at around $1 million a year, right? Well, if you can find a way to serve a global audience. The knitted fabric market size is estimated to be around $35.7 billion by 2025. But there's another mistake that I didn't have time to go into that costs more businesses more money than almost anything else. It has to do with advertising, how it works, and why it may not be the best way to grow your business. So to help you out, I've linked up a video right here that goes over all of that, and more importantly, what you can do instead to get even better results. So make sure to check it out now, and I'll see you in the next video. Especially today, as advertising costs have risen substantially. Tracking and the ability to pixel people with retargeting cookies has gotten progressively worse, and competition